Jimmy Kimmel's triumphant return to television on Tuesday night became an event that dominated both the media landscape and social media conversations across the country. Not only did Kimmel break his own record for YouTube monologues, but he also drew a staggering 6.2 million broadcast viewers, marking one of the most watched episodes of his career. Welcome viewers to my channel. Please subscribe, like my video and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. The return was highly anticipated after a period of turbulence in Kimmel's professional life. For months, he had been sidelined by ABC, the network owned by Disney, following a controversial suspension amid political pressure from the Trump administration. This suspension had ignited a nationwide debate over free speech, censorship, and the complex relationship between entertainment and politics in America. On Wednesday, Kimmel addressed his audience with both humor and pointed social commentary, acknowledging that his show had returned for most, but not all, viewers. "We're back on the air," he began. "For most of the country," he said, though several ABC affiliates, including those in Seattle, Washington, D.C., Nashville, New Orleans, and St. Louis, continued to preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live. Kimmel wove the reality of these blackouts into his monologue, treating it as both a punchline and a reflection of the strange media environment. "Thank God they're not preempting the new season of The Golden Bachelor because of this," he joked, poking fun at ABC's programming priorities while slyly referencing his own suspension. "The FCC might frown upon jokes about the president, but they're perfectly fine with Pop-Pop enjoying a jacuzzi with a squeezer. And we can all be grateful for that," he added, highlighting both the absurdity of media regulation and the inconsistencies in what is considered acceptable content for television audiences. Kimmel also reflected on the astonishing number of viewers who tuned in, noting the surprising enthusiasm from friends and acquaintances who rarely watched his show. "A lot of people watched our show last night," he said. "I received countless texts from friends who never watch the show otherwise. It made me realize how many of my acquaintances only tune in when something extraordinary happens." Among these extraordinary viewers, according to Kimmel, was former President Donald Trump himself, whom Kimmel affectionately referred to as his Mad Red Hatter. The former president had taken to Truth Social to comment on Kimmel's return hours before the episode aired. "I can't believe ABC fake news gave Jimmy Kimmel his job back. The White House was told by ABC that his show was canceled. Something happened between then and now because his audience is gone, and his talent was never there," Trump posted, blending his characteristic mix of outrage, self-congratulation, and conspiracy-laden commentary. Kimmel seized on this for comedic effect. "You can't believe they gave me my job back," Kimmel mused, holding the audience in suspense before delivering the punchline. "I can't believe we gave you your job back." He read Trump's post aloud, emphasizing the absurdity of the rhetoric and the inherent contradictions. Trump had continued, with a mix of threat and boast, "I think we're going to test ABC out on this. Let's see how we do. Last time I went after them, they gave me $16 million. This one sounds even more lucrative. A true bunch of losers." Kimmel's response highlighted the paradoxical nature of Trump's threats. "There's the threat again, this time straight from FCC Biscuit's mouth," he quipped. Only Donald Trump could try to prove he wasn't threatening ABC by threatening ABC. He also paused to express sympathy for the people trapped in the chaos surrounding the former president. "You almost have to feel sorry for the people who work for him, who try to clean up the messes," Kimmel said. "They go to great lengths to insist it wasn't coercion. The president was just musing. Then the second he's alone, he sits on the toilet, grabs his phone, and obliterates all their excuses. Suddenly, it wasn't pressure, it was ratings that got me fired." Trump concluded his Truth Social rant by attacking Kimmel's ratings. "Let Jimmy Kimmel rot in his bad ratings." Kimmel, ever ready with a sharp comeback, pointed out the irony, "And he does no bad ratings. He has some of the worst ratings any president has ever had. So on behalf of all of us, welcome to the crappy ratings club, Mr. President." This exchange exemplified the recurring dynamic between political figures and late-night comedians, where humor functions as both critique and entertainment, highlighting contradictions and absurdities in the behavior of public figures. Addressing his critics who questioned why he frequently targets Trump in his monologues, Kimmel explained, "I talk about Trump more than anything else because he's a bully. I don't like bullies. I played the clarinet in high school. He characterized Trump as an old-fashioned, 80s movie-style bully, combining theatricality with aggression. Kimmel's commentary emphasized the role of satire in political discourse, demonstrating how humor can illuminate power dynamics and hold influential figures accountable while engaging audiences in a relatable, entertaining format. The discussion of political satire extended to other late-night hosts as well. Stephen Colbert, opening Wednesday's Late Show, praised Kimmel's return. "Our good friend Jimmy Kimmel returned to television last night," Colbert said. "He spoke eloquently about free speech and unity, delivered great jokes, showed genuine emotion, and drew enormous ratings." Colbert's remarks framed Kimmel's return not only as a personal triumph but also as a cultural and political milestone, symbolizing the resilience of comedy in the face of censorship and controversy. Colbert also addressed another timely example of free speech: the installation of a controversial statue on the National Mall, depicting Trump and Jeffrey Epstein skipping hand in hand. While acknowledging the artistic merits of the piece, Colbert quipped about its physical realism. "It's lovely, but not very realistic. Trump can't stand on one leg, not with those cankles. It would be like trying to balance on a sock full of overripe honeydew." The statue, which had been authorized by the National Park Service to demonstrate freedom of speech and artistic expression using political imagery, became a focal point for discussions about artistic license, political satire, and public space. Despite receiving an official permit, the statue was removed by park police the following morning. Colbert humorously framed the removal as a reminder of the tenuous nature of free expression. "Thank you for protecting free speech, for almost 24 hours, anyway." He also likened the removal to the impermanence of streaming content, joking, "Worked last time." Authorities cited unspecified permit violations as the reason for the removal, and Colbert slyly suggested the explanation was obvious. "We all know the rules in national parks: leave no trace of the Epstein files." His commentary highlighted how even government-sanctioned acts of artistic expression can be swiftly curtailed, reflecting broader tensions between regulation, politics, and freedom of expression. Meanwhile, Seth Meyers devoted attention to Trump's recent visit to the United Nations in New York, reminding audiences that the former president had previously promised rapid global resolutions. Trump had claimed he could end Middle Eastern conflicts and resolve the war in Ukraine in no longer than one day. Meyers emphasized the implausibility of such statements. "In fairness, he said it would take him one day, he didn't say which day. But generally, you should be skeptical when someone claims they can solve any problem in just 24 hours. The UN visit itself became a source of comedic commentary due to a series of mishaps, including a broken escalator that malfunctioned just as Trump stepped onto it. Fox News commentator Caroline Leavitt accused the UN of sabotage, alleging intentional disruption. Meyers seized the moment for satire. "Teleprompter down, escalator off. Were the globalists behind this, or was it Kevin from Home Alone?" Trump later took to Truth Social, labeling the escalator incident one of three very sinister events during his UN visit, suggesting that First Lady Melania narrowly avoided a disaster, and calling for the arrest of the responsible party. The UN, however, clarified that the escalator's failure was likely triggered inadvertently by a videographer, highlighting the gap between perception and reality in politically charged incidents. These events collectively highlight the evolving relationship between entertainment, politics, and public spectacle. Kimmel's record-breaking return, the provocative statue on the National Mall, and Trump's UN misadventures illustrate how late-night comedy, political theater, and social media intersect to shape public perception. Comedians such as Kimmel, Colbert, and Meyers act as cultural analysts, using humor to critique power, illuminate contradictions, and provoke discussion among audiences across the political spectrum. Furthermore, Kimmel's return underscores the enduring influence of late-night television in American society. By combining comedy with social commentary, Kimmel and his peers maintain a unique ability to inform and entertain simultaneously, bridging the gap between news, satire, and cultural critique. The week's events also underscore the complex interplay of media platforms, governmental oversight, and individual agency, revealing how information, perception, and entertainment are increasingly intertwined in public life. Ultimately, this convergence of media spectacle, political drama, and comedic insight serves as a reminder of the powerful role humor can play in society. Kimmel's triumphant return, combined with the array of political controversies and social commentary surrounding Trump, exemplifies how satire continues to be both a cultural mirror and magnifying glass, reflecting the absurdities, contradictions, and theatricality of modern American politics. Late-night hosts have become essential commentators, capable of shaping national conversations while keeping audiences engaged, entertained, and critical.